Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Walking Crow for the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine. Happy Moonday. It's Moonday. Looks like everybody survived the full moon and the eclipse, the lunar eclipse, and all of that stuff. You've made it to Moonday, another day. It's only Moonday. The day's not over yet, so walk, don't run to Tuesday. Hey, I want to thank my beautiful grandmother, this drum that I birthed on July 4th in the morning with the sunrise, with the full moon, with the full moon eclipse energies, and she sings and she's beautiful and she's pretty badass. And it's probably a little bit much for hey nana Iowa, great spirit, I am here, I am ready, I am here. But I decided to use her anyways. So today the idea of fearlessness came up. And how many of you are actually fearless? How many of you are fearless about your life, fearless about what you do, fearless about how you do things for yourself, what you say, what you speak? Are you living in shame? Are you living in fear? Are you afraid to do something because you're afraid you might be judged by others? What do you care what others think or not think about you? Why should you care? I know why you should care. I know why you do care. Because you're living, if you care, and you should care, you're living in low esteem, low self-worth. And when you live in low self-esteem and low self-worth, you give a shit about what other people think. Me, I don't. I've already done all that dark shadow work, and it's such a pleasure to do it because my life is so different. Do you want a different life? Do you want a different way? Do you want to know why it is you do the things you do? Or do you know why and you don't know how to change? Or do you know why and you won't change because others will talk about you? Let them talk about you. Because if they're talking about you, you're doing something. You're doing something good for you. If they're not talking about you, they don't give a shit because they're gossips and they live in their own self-esteem, low self-esteem. So what are you ready to do about making changes right here, right now on Moonday? And when it's time, when you get there to Tuesday, what are you able to continue in and say to yourself, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to say. This is what I am. This is what I've always been. This is what I'm going to be. I don't live in fear. I can't live in fear. I did that for the first half of my life. And nobody deserves to own my thinking. Nobody deserves to live in my head rent-free. Screw them. So the fallout of these eclipses, the fallout of all this energy is, are you or aren't you? Do you or don't you? Will you or won't you? 3 simple questions require one simple answer. But you won't even ask yourself those questions. You'll sidestep and avoid those questions because, we might get in trouble. No, I'm supposed to be a doctor. I'm supposed to be a nurse. I'm supposed to be a lawyer. I'm supposed to do what they say because, it's part of my lineage. Well, screw the lineage. Be the repair in the lineage that you should have been a long time ago. That's what I did. I left the technology world because I couldn't do it anymore. I didn't want to do it anymore. I was tired of waiting for the other shoe to drop so they could let me go again, because that's the way things went in technology for me, But nobody can fire me from my job as a healer, as a drum maker, as a rattle maker. I am successful in these things because I was willing to step off the edge and fly when I didn't know I could fly. I stepped off anyways. I have a friend named Master CEO, and he's probably going to hear this. And the last time, a month and a half ago when I was in Los Angeles, he asked me how much money I saved to come to Sedona, come live in Sedona. I said, I didn't save any money. I just left. There's no faith in saving. Saving for what? It's like those of you who are working your asses off for somebody else to get rich, and you're just going to get 2 weeks a year vacation, and you're going to get retirement, and then you're going to not to know what you do with yourself. You're going to maybe learn how to play golf or some stupid game like that, and you're going to die from loneliness. You're going to die from sadness. You're going to die from anger. You're going to die from fear because you never did what it was you wanted to do with your life. I do what makes me happy. And making this drum, listen to that drum. Making this drum made me happy. And I love walking into my office and seeing it. In fact, right now, I have the hide soaking for my old drum, the old big one that you guys normally hear. I'm going to re-tie that because the ties are getting old and they're dry, and it's time for a rejuvenation and a rebirthing of that drum. So, what is it that you want for your life, and what is it that you're not willing to give to yourself because somebody might be looking, somebody might be watching. I may not be living up to somebody's expectations of me. The hell with that. Do what makes you happy. Give yourself what makes you breathe. Give yourself what will allow you to fly through the world, being the individual that you've always wanted to be, living the dream that you've always wanted to live. Hey, once upon a time, there was a woman in my life who said, you should become a healer. So I didn't know what that was. And she said, like Reiki. I didn't know what that was because I was a biker, musician. I was all kinds of things, but I didn't know anything about spirituality. I thought I did, but I was busy resting on the laurels of religion, that kind of goofy spirituality, which is false, which is a false spirituality, which is false spiritual narrative, I hope. Anyways, I searched it out. I became a healer. I found a school that I went to, and I did what I had to do to become this healer right here, right now, that sits in front of you. And one day, you just don't go to college, and everybody who knows that goes to college, gets out of college, and gets a job like that. So, I didn't have clients right away. There's a lot of things that didn't happen right away, but I'm a patient man, and I was willing to do the work to get that. But she would look down her nose at me, and she would say, well, I should have never suggested that you become a healer, because she thought it was going to happen like that. It didn't happen like that. But I didn't quit on myself. I didn't quit on my dream. I didn't quit on my faith. I didn't quit on my knowing, the knowing of who and what I have always been, who I was going to become. My name is Walking Crow, and this is a transformational sacred drum medicine, and you can't get this anywhere else. You can't learn to do what I do from a book, because I am the book. I'm the oral tradition that I've taken us back to, the oral tradition. You guys hear me day in and day out when I'm doing these videos. I am the oral tradition. I am the book. The things that I have learned to do have come through spirit, through the guides, and channeled through me, for me, and to me. So I can share with you, so I could overcome and become, and so I could share with you the joys of being, the joys of walking through, the scariness of walking through the things that have happened in our life, and overcoming those fears and those angers and the shames and the wounds and the hurts and all those drains that drain us of our life force. They drain you of your life force. You overeat. You drink a lot of alcohol. You smoke a lot of cigarettes. You smoke a lot of pot. Oh, but it's a sacred medicine. Oh, really? Oh, really? Try tapping into your heart space before you take that next toke. Let's have a conversation about the subtle energy body. So what are you willing to do? Are you willing to step off and give yourself goodness? Give those around you goodness. I just came from dinner with a friend and friends, actually. And, there were people I didn't know 2 years ago. And I don't know any of the people that I've known for a lifetime because they don't know me. They're still living in that old world, in that old paradigm, in that old way of thinking, the old way of being, arguing about politics, arguing about religion, arguing about all those. I don't have to argue about shit. I stand in the power of who and what I am, and who and what I have always been. I am Walking Crow. I didn't give myself that name. That name was given to me by my elders and my teachers. I'm not some new age metaphysical wannabe guru who is like giving myself a name so I can look good in front of people and come to a place like Sedona so I could try to be somebody. That's not the way it happened for me. That's not the way it happens in reality, in the real spiritual world of becoming and overcoming. becoming and overcoming those traumas, those hurts, those wounds, those shames, those things you're afraid to talk to. I had a young lady here with me last week on Monday making a drum. We did the ceremony to create the drum so she could birth the drum on Tuesday. We put the hide into the water, but through all the ceremony, some of her stuff started to bubble up and she had to get out of here. She had to go home. But on her drive home for an hour, she got to be with that energy and the understanding of what was going on with her. Sometimes the things we do bring up that stuff and we have to face it and we have to do it. It doesn't mean we're going to fix it. It means we come into the awareness of it and the understanding of it. And then we come into the now what of it. And then sometimes the now what is the why that you're shown, the why you drink, the why you smoke, the why you overeat, the why you shop, the why you hoard, the why you can't stop sleeping with men or women, the why you have a mommy issue, men, why you have a daddy issue, women. But this stuff bubbles up to the top. It bubbles up to the top. And when it's time to deal with it, you're going to deal with it or it's going to have its way with you. And who wants more of the same? I didn't. So I changed my life. I changed my life for me. And what happened was the byproduct of my changing my life for me was helpful to my community, the common unity of my community. The collective. I'm a grain of sand in the collective. You can't cure and heal the whole collective at one time. Everybody has to heal their own individual wounds because we're all individuals in our knowings and our not knowings and our beings and our doings. And our not doings and our not beings. So we come together as a collective and it's a wounded collective, but we can't heal the whole collective at one time. It's not going to happen. I don't care what books you read or who your guru is. Not going to happen. You have to do the individual hard work. You have to do the shadow work and be able to face the things that you avoid or are unwilling to face for a lifetime. And then stop ripping the Band-Aid off of it so you can relive it again and traumatize yourself with it. Once you have the why in your grasp, in your heart, in your knowing, you stop ripping the Band-Aid off of the traumas that happened in your life and you become free. Free of the shame, free of the wound, free of the hurt, free of the anger, free of the cancer that all those things cause in your body. Are you fearless? Do you want to be fearless? Can you be fearless? Will you be fearless? Will you? Should you? Could you be fearless? Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, Great Mother. Thank you, power and the guidance of the medicine wheel, the four directions. Thank you. Thank you for the ability of knowing the why. Thank you for the ability of awareness, of willingness. Thank you for the ability of wanting, not needing. Needing got me nowhere, but wanting got me everywhere. Walking Crow for the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine on a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Moonday, asking you, are you fearless? And if you're not, do you want to be? Aho, shinawana honata. Aho, shinawana hey.